everybody, Angelina here, Paper Crafting with Angelina, and today I just want to share with you a very quick tutorial on how I created this thank you card. And I am using the June 2013 stamp of the month from Close to My Heart. So let's head on over to my workbench and I'll show you how we did this. Thanks, see you there. Okay, so here's what we're going to need to make the card. We're going to need a card base, and this is in Pacifica, and this is 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to need a piece of honey cardstock. This is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. We're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock, and this is cut at 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then the honey is cut at 3 by 2. And from the Adventure Pigment ink set, we're going to use Pacifica and the honey. We're going to use a Versamark. We are going to use the epoxy green blue bubbles and just a few extra strips of cardstock. I've got 3 fabric flowers here that just are coming from my stash of stuff. I'm going to be using this Cuttlebug folder, and that's what was used on this piece of cardstock, and I'll tell you a little more about how I use that. And then I'm going to be using the June 2013 stamp of the month, and this is called a Flowering Bunch. We're going to use this stamp and the Thanks a Bunch stamp. And then we're also going to be using, of course, your typical bone folder, adhesive, scissors, and whatever else we might need. So thanks a lot, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I went ahead and got the stamping out of the way, and again I was using this stamp set, which is the June 2013 stamp of the month. And what I did is I took these, let's see, just a second. I took the flowers and I inked them up in the honey pigment ink, and I stamped the yellow as a background. And then I took the sentiment, Thanks a Bunch, and I used the Pacifica pigment ink to stamp that right on top. Oh, and I did forget to mention the clear embossing powder, so we do need that. I then put this, covered it up with the clear embossing powder, tapped it off, used the heat tool to go ahead and melt all of that, and that's how I came up with this. This piece is going to get mounted on our topiary green cardstock with a nice even border all the way around. There you go. Now what I've done with this piece of cardstock is that's what I used the Cuttlebug embossing folder. I covered this all here, put the paper in, ran it through my Cuttlebug, and then sprinkled clear embossing powder on here. I did have to take a little paintbrush to take it off some of the raised leaves, and I just did it very gently all around wherever I needed to. And then again with the heat tool, I went ahead and melted that, and that's what's given this nice shiny shimmery, let's see, there we go, see that? So that just kind of adds another dimension. Now this is going to get applied to the card base. Make sure we know which side the card is going to open up to. And again, I just eyeball everything. There you go. Now we've got the card face on there. I am going to be using 3D foam tape. Before I do, I am going to attach this piece right about like that. And I will do that with just a little bit of the liquid glass. Just a little strip there of that. Now that dries fairly quickly. Go ahead and take off the backing papers. I think I should add one more piece to the center. There we go. Now with this little banner that I already made, and I cut this at a 1/2 inch, I scored it at a 1/4 inch. Then I took the scissors and I cut in here, and then from the corners I cut each piece out. Okay, so now we're going to do our flowers. And with these two, I am also just going to go ahead and adhere some glue to 3 different spots. I was going to be stingy with those, but I guess not. There we go. There you have it. A nice, quick card. Save some time with the stamping.